Well, according to the Gun Violence Archive, at least 17 additional mass shootings have happened since the Texas school shooting. Here in Wisconsin, licensed arms dealers must initiate background checks before a gun purchase. News 8 Now's Rob Romano joins us in studio to explain how that process works.
And that's right, Amy. With regard to background checks, a gun shop owner I spoke with says he keeps records for years to ensure compliance with the law.
You know, if you don't have your own protection, what are you going to do?
Roger Wendling is the owner of Monsour's Sports Shop here in La Crosse. He says he regularly initiates background checks on gun buyers.
ATF comes around and checks our books to make sure we're doing a good job. They give us the okay to let them have the handgun or a rifle or whatever they're getting.
Despite background checks among firearms dealers at shops like Wendling's, the Giffords Law Center reports that private sellers of guns in Wisconsin do not have to initiate background checks. This is vastly different from Wendling's work as a licensed firearms dealer.
You need to be 18 to buy a long gun and then 21 to buy a handgun. You go through a background check, one style with a long gun, and then you do some extra paperwork for the state on a handgun.
The state of Wisconsin does not allow certain categories of people to buy guns. For example, felons, anyone being committed due to a mental health issue, and anyone subject to a domestic abuse restraining order are forbidden from buying guns in this state. Chris Zakar is an attorney.
Anyone convicted of any felony is prohibited from purchasing a firearm. We just had a case where somebody who had an old felony for unpaid child support is not prevented from purchasing a firearm, but if you're convicted of a violent misdemeanor, for instance, you're perfectly eligible to purchase a firearm.
Meanwhile, Wendling feels the government is out of touch when it comes to gun-related issues. He says the assault weapons ban of the late 1990s and early 2000s actually led to a spike in demand.
When they passed the ban on that stuff, it didn't have any effect whatsoever. If it had any effect, we sold more product.
And one area where the state of Wisconsin's gun laws differ from other states is in the absence of a red flag law. Those laws specifically try to prevent people who may be a threat to themselves or others from buying guns.
All right, thank you, Rob. According to the La Crosse Police Department, in 2020, officers reported 56 weapons law violations.